Let's talk about using the lat and the pull of the snatch and the clean. I was talking with Jack last week just about the kind of technical model of the lifts that I want to go over, that I want to eventually send out to you guys. And that is mainly talking about the key points in each lift and things that I look for and the technique that I look for. Everyone's a little bit different, so everybody's going to lift a little bit differently, but there's a few things that are common that everyone needs to do. And so in that discussion, I use the cue shoulders back a lot. And I think what I'm trying to say in that cue is that we need to keep some tension in our upper back. And I don't think that shoulders back is necessarily the best cue. So with a lot of you recently and moving forward, I'm going to start talking about kind of where your elbows are positioned, because I think that's going to help you use your lats. Because sometimes when we think shoulders back, we get a shrugging up and back motion, which isn't using our lats. That's actually the opposite. Our lats are going to bring our shoulders down and also extend. So they'll downwardly rotate the scapula and then also extend the shoulder. So it's this motion that the lat does, down and back, as opposed to sometimes we think like squeeze our shoulder blades back, and then what that can lead to is a little early pulling of the bar, but then also we can get a reverse curl motion on the snatch or a clean. So with that being said, in a snatch setup position, I want you to start thinking about and working on your elbows. So I can rotate my elbows here without my shoulders moving. It's not this. So my shoulders are staying set. There's tension in my shoulders, but I'm actually pointing my elbows, the elbow bones, out, and I'm pointing my elbow pits in, however you want to think about it. That's internal rotation. Internal rotation along with setting. So I'm internally rotating, but I'm not rounding my shoulder forward. So I'm setting tension in my shoulder blades. Internal rotation is going to allow my lats to be engaged because they're internal rotators. So I'm going to be able to get that lat sweep, keeping the bar close. And then as we come above the knee, using that lat position to sweep that bar into the hips, keeping my arms long. This motion right here in the snatch, and then this motion right here in the clean, sweeping that bar in, keeping my arms long. It's going to allow me to engage the lats, sweep it, direct the bar into my hips, keep it close. It's also going to allow my elbows to come up after contact, snatch and clean. If we're shoulders back and if we're too externally rotated and squeezed together, we get this position as opposed to this position. And then the third thing it's going to do is speed up my turnover. So the timing and the turnover is going to be a lot better. So it's going to allow you to use your lats to direct the bar to your hips. It's going, or their thighs for the clean. It's going to allow your elbows to stay higher, keeping the bar closer after contact. And then it's going to speed up your turnover. So work on that this week and moving forward. I like to just take an empty bar in the warm up and literally just set my grip and then just work on kind of shoulder tension in my upper back and shoulders, but my arms are long and loose and I'm able to turn. And then I'm thinking elbows out, elbow pits in. And then as I'm lifting, I'm thinking about using them. And then after contact, keeping my elbows high, keeping that position with the elbows out. So think about that cue. Thanks to Jack for bringing that to my attention. I think it's a different way to maybe describe it that makes more sense. In my head was one thing, and the way I was describing it probably wasn't always getting across. So I think describing it that way is a little bit better as far as getting the point across, everybody being on the same page. So have a great week of training. See you guys on the platform.